So we have a Gameboy DMG-01. This is not in too bad a shape. We're missing the screen lens, battery cover. I want to put a new serial sticker here, but let's throw some batteries in and let's give it a try. And don't mind my bootleg copies. Okay. We got audio? We do have audio. I don't know if you can hear that. There we go. Alright. Looks like we got some lines on the screen on the left and right side. You can take care of those. Alright. Let's give this a go. First, we're going to start with the tri-wing. Screwdriver. Got the tri-wing. Right. Yes. Okay. For magnetic tips, there are 6 tri-wing screws on the back of this guy. Sometimes they'll get a little tight. If you're having trouble locking on to one of them, just kind of go clockwise until it clicks, and then you can go counterclockwise. That guy, let's see, go on, coming out. Yes, good day. And last screw. Get the last screw out. There we go. Alright, now let's see how this looks on the inside. Actually, let's get a close-up of the battery contacts if we can. Okay. A little dirty, but not too bad. Okay, so we have a ribbon cable in here, and it just slides on out. It's a little violent than I intended. Let's see, I need a Phillips head next. Let's focus on the back for now. This here is the headphone jack. Good to clean this guy out. I like to use isopropyl alcohol, 99%. I don't expect there's any problems right now because the audio is working. And pro tip, if you ever find yourself having issues with the audio, it's good to clean right inside of here. Right inside of here. That sometimes will get stuck together and or stuck apart and affect the audio. Overall, this is looking like it's in really good shape. Right, see, I don't think that's all of them. Let's see here. Where? Okay. Oh, there's a little bug. You see it? Little friend right there. Knock that out. We'll set this off to the side for now. Focus on here. Now, this is where I like to get some isopropyl alcohol. This cool thing. Press it down a couple times, it fills with alcohol. So your Q-tip in there, go to town on it. It's important to get it inside of here too. And if you're having trouble with that, just get like a paper towel or something like that, and a credit card. Dip the paper towel in rubbing alcohol, or isopropyl alcohol, IPA, and just slide it down. We're not getting any dirt up in there right now, so that's very good. Let's see here. I'm just going to give this a little spritz with some IPA. And we're going to do another once over with the... So really the only problem we had to identify here is the lines on the screen. And usually, in my experience, what causes that is there's solder joints underneath a ribbon on the screen. And if you heat that up just a little bit, you can get those lines to go away. Some people prefer to put pressure on there. I do not. That's like a temporary fix. Really, anything's a temporary fix if you think about it. But alright, I think I see flux here or something. I'm just trying to clean that up. The heating of the solder is a more permanent fix, I feel. Now, this is a little trick if you don't want to desolder the sound or volume wheel. Just take your alcohol, really drench a Q-tip with it, just dip it in there, really saturate it. Go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Alright, this is the contrast wheel, not the... No, that's off. So I'm just going back and forth with it. And you can do the same thing if you don't want to desolder the power switch. Really saturate it, dip it in there, and then just flick it back and forth a bunch of times. What that's doing is it's kind of cleaning up the contacts in there with the isopropyl alcohol. And the isopropyl alcohol will dry out, so you don't have to worry about it shorting things out later. Okay. Well, looks like we're done with this side. I want to preserve this if I can. That's not being real careful, not in a bad way. Tell you what, I have a hot air gun. I've never used it before. Oh, let's give it a shot. Let's see here. How is this? Degrees Celsius. Okay, we're just going to heat up the adhesive a little bit, and hopefully this will lift right off. Alright, let's kill the heat. And break out this little guy. Oh no, what was that? Okay, let's see if we can. I think it's too stuck on there. I don't want to risk that more than we have to. So we are just going to clean up the back of this. I'm deciding to give up on that sticker for now. Anyways, people tend to like the serial number a little bit better if it's original. And I do plan on reselling these guys just to fuel my hobby. Let's see here. I want to get these battery contacts out. Oh, this has been a little while since I've done this. There's these little tabs right in there. Just trying to press on it while I press down on the battery. Got two at the same time. Press in and dang, this one's stubborn. There we go. Maybe Q-tips aren't the best option. Oops. Alright, so we got these guys here. And one more I gotta get out. Just gonna push that down and out. Good. And we've still got the Phillips on. We'll do this. This is an RF shield. Something that was necessary back in the day. It's not too important, but I like to keep it clean. Here's what is rubbing potentially against our cartridges after all. In case you're wondering what I'm doing, I just realized my hand's blocking everything. I'm just taking screws from here and here. Okay, should lift up that. And as you can see, this is in fantastic condition. Still, little smudges here and there. Alright, let's give this a good cleaning. Get a microfiber cloth here, and we're gonna spritz this down with isopropyl alcohol. It's a good thing I have a fume extractor. Now, this isn't that dirty, actually, which is surprising. These things have been around forever. I was trying to clean up some of the finger crud on here. And we'll get in this with a Q-tip and maybe some tweezers to get the fine stuff out of there. Just realizing the camera's shaking everywhere. Get at this, yeah. Got some dirt on there. Alright, let's go in for the detail. There we go, getting nice and clean in there. I don't know if you can tell, but there's some dirt in the corner there I'm trying to get out. Alright, let's give these tweezers a go. See if I can scrape some of that out. Alcohol. Yeah, this is really stubborn. Alright, mostly good there. Okay, well, we're almost done with the back. Just making sure there's no corrosion, no gross stuff. Look nice. Basically want to restore it to its former glory. If you can hear some motor in the background, that is my air filter thing. Just in case I create a little smoke later when we're fixing the screen. Inside that. This is like pristine. Barely any gut. Grody thing in it. Right. Get it out here best we can. Alright, some other silver with the rag on the inside. Dirty, not too shabby though. Not compared to some I've seen. This getting the crevices here. Crevasse. Okay, yeah, that was a little more dirty. That's all done. Let's take a look at these guys. Alright, that is just needing a little bit of love. My arm here is in 1080. We got one down. Let's see, this one here. It doesn't go there. W2, W2. Okay. This one goes here. Don't that want to pop out? Yes, it does. If that happens, just take your screwdriver. Where did I put the screwdriver? And we want to bend it ever so slight, little tap ever so slightly. That way it kind of locks back in place when it goes. You know, I got tweezers for this, but screwdriver works just as good up here. These look perfectly fine, but we're just going over them first to be safe. Due diligence, look pretty, and I can tell these ones are going to have the same issue. We're just going to bend it out slightly. Just just make sure it doesn't come out. So, just so you know what we're looking at, that little tab there needs to be out ever so slightly. I'm putting it in with the diagonal part facing down and in this corner. There we go. Here it's snap into place, and we're just gonna touch up a spot I just noticed here in the corner and right here. Yeah, good thing I'm touching this up. It looks like there's some dirt in there yet. I missed. That's the resistance. I like to use some pledge just to give a nice little citrusy smell. There we go. Oh, the serial number here isn't looking super great, but you know, people prefer to have that. Plus, I can't get it off without destroying it. So, let's see here. I have a new back. Use this guy. How well does it match? It's a little brighter. Yeah, it doesn't quite match 100%, but that's okay. Now, I got one more thing here. Yeah, I wonder if this number still works. Probably not. That guy just goes right about here. Now stick it all the way down until you are positive that's what you want, and that's what I want. Alright, cool. Now we can start putting the back together again. Okay, I'll set this to the side for now. It's a little once over. There's some of that dust. Oh yeah, it's a little dusty. Not dirty, but dust difference. You see that dirt on there. Okay. Now, let's see if I remember how to do this properly. I believe it's like that, if I'm not mistaken. And these 4 screws. Pop them in there. Anytime you're screwing something in, it's good to go in like a star-shaped pattern. Kind of evens out the pressure. It's not that big of a deal on these guys though. It's more for like a computer. And don't over tighten these either. They should be, you shouldn't be able to loosen them with your finger at all, but over tighten it, risk breaking the post and stripping it out. And let me tell you, that is not a good. It's going good so far. Pop this guy back in. I don't want this catch. Needs to be under there. There we go. Huzzah. Alright, now this is a little tricky. This to go in there properly. In case you didn't see what I did there, I just kind of lifted up on this. Placed this guy in there and push this back down. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, we had 4 screws back here. It goes here. Take a quick look at that in a second. Who's going, wow. Oh, go in there. There we go. It's looking pretty good. This one spot up here. I'm not sure, but it looks a little off colored. It might be flat. It's slightly yellowed. Alright, I'll flip it out. Make sure I don't lose anything. Now, this is one thing a lot of people overlook, including myself, is this little guy. Can I get that out of there? Oh my gosh, a lot of times Game Boys are missing this piece, this cover here. Oh man, good thing I pulled that out. Holy smokes. Look at that, that's nasty. Getting that right up. Here's pick at this a little bit. See if we can't get it a little clean. Okay, let's wipe with the alcohol. Boy, am I glad I didn't overlook that this time. More. Basically want to do this until the Q-tip comes out clean. And it's looking pretty good in there. Let that dry out before you put the cover back on. But let's speed that process up a little bit. There we go. Alright, back is complete. Still turn that. Good. Let's make sure we didn't destroy anything. If we can get this thing open. There we go. Now you don't need the whole Game Boy together in order to try it out. If I'm remembering right. And maybe you do. Oh, we'll keep this together for now. Now the fun part. This is where all the gross things happen. Now let's see here. What are we attacking first? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10. As you can see, I haven't done this in a while. Now this is where things usually are pretty gross, because this is where all the buttons are, all the button membranes and such. This Game Boy in particular, we're just trying to keep it as classic as possible, or as original as possible, I should say. Let me get a different angle on this so you can see what I'm doing. So there should be a total of 10 screws if I'm correct here. Get off of there. See, I could have swore there's one more screw. Let's pop this guy up. What do we got? Oh, we got 10 screws. Okay, let's use our prime tool. Oh yeah. Yep, this is really stuck in there. I feel like we're gonna need to clean some of this. Alright, nice. Okay, cool, cool. Now we are gonna address this last. Alright, back to the old alcohol. And we got these guys. These guys are gonna be pretty grody. Not too bad actually. Kinda bad. Yeah, in that light it makes it look pretty bad. And this guy, these buttons only go in there a certain way, so you can't really mess it up. And I am using different parts of this towel each time. Okay. This guy just is like an adhesive layer. Not too terribly important, but it's there anymore. It kind of keeps out dust though, which is nice. Some hair in there, nice. I'm just doing a quick once over with the towel and then we'll get in there with Q-tips. Okay. Yeah, we're definitely going to get in there with some Q-tips. This part, this is quite important that you get this out of here. This is the adhesive that held on the prior screen. We do have a new screen lens that we're going to pop on. And this usually should just scrape off. Don't ever use metal on plastic though. You don't want to use any plastic that's harder than the plastic you're working. Otherwise they'll scratch it all up. If it's not coming off super easy like this is, you can use isopropyl alcohol and that'll loosen it up. I'm probably going to have to do that for a little bit here. Okay, I think that's about as best we can do what we got there and wipe this down. This is isopropyl alcohol, 99%. Same thing that's in this bottle here. We're just gonna saturate this. Let this do its thing. The adhesive. Right in there too, get some of that loosened up. While that's soaking there, we're gonna clean these guys up. In case you didn't know, isopropyl alcohol is my favorite thing to clean with. It does a wonderful job and it's great with electronics. You know, as dirty as these look, they're nowhere near as bad as I've seen before. Like soda spilled in these before, all sorts of things. Mystery substances. Now a little trick, if your contacts aren't working super great, is you can get a piece of paper and just do that. And what you're doing is you're kind of getting a new layer of contact on there. I think that's how it works. Okay, these guys are pretty good. Some of these Q-tips out of the way. Okay. Now, something you could do is just, wash these in soap and water. If I'm doing a bunch of them, that's what I'll do. Or if it's like extra sticky, I'll do that. Okay. Oh, and okay. Clean as a whistle. Back to this guy. See if this scrapes up any easier now. Yeah, a little bit. I just realized I broke my rule about no metal on plastic. I was scraping with the tweezers. Shame on me. Okay. If I get different lighting, like we don't, just a little more scraping. Find a good amount of pressure. That does not want to come off. If you do use metal on here, which I think I might, don't use pointy edges if you can help it. Real gentle with it. You only want to get that yellow off of there. Good, good, good. This is coming off now. Awesome. Alright, we're gonna spritz this again. Wipe on. Not too bad, not too bad. Let's clean up our space a little bit. Do a little pledge. Alright, this. Drop some in there. And line up these little holes here. Actually, you know what? I shouldn't be doing that yet. We have something for this. Okay, how do we open this guy? I'm just gonna set this in here for now. See, if you didn't get rid of all the yellow, it wouldn't sit flush like that. Set that aside for now. The fun part. Okay, gonna clean this. Sometimes you get like little metal shavings on there. You can kind of tell. Yeah, there you go. I'm just gonna flip the Q-tip around, get the screen all good. Got some buildup of that adhesive, the dust that came off of the other piece of the Game Boy, and isopropyl alcohol should take good care of that. Microfiber cloths are awesome too. And that little trick we had with the volume wheel, you can do with the contrast wheel as well. Saturate your tip, drop it in there, drop it in there, and drop it in there. And then just go to town on. Clean up some of this. Anything on the back. Clean this up a little bit. Oh, this is actually looking really good back here. Alright, now this little blue piece is into there. It's kind of precarious if I don't mess this up. There. Now, should be able to flick it on. Alright, we're just going to turn the contrast all the way up. Now, I've had my iron preheating for a little while at 375 Celsius. What we're going to do, we're going to take this guy off of here. See if I can get that little adhesive strip off of there too. There we go. That's the stuff. Now, okay, I've never had a chisel tip and I've never used this particular iron before. Bear with me. I go back and forth with it. I'm trying to remember exactly where to go. There, go and take your time with it. Like this. There we go. Come on. Let's let that cool down a little bit. Yeah, work the screen a little too much there. Oh, we almost got this side. Oh, we're starting to get the line there. Yep. We're gonna let that cool off a little bit. We'll go back to this side. Let that cool off a little bit. Do its thing. Alright, it's almost there. A little bit more. Alright, let's let that cool off for a little while here. Oh, come on. Back. Go back. Okay. I'll let that cool off now. Hopefully it stays. If it stays, we're good. No. Come on. Okay. This is missing adhesive now. Luckily, I got something just for the job. What this is it's double-sided sticky tape. Kind of allows you to apply adhesive to things just by rolling it on, basically, which is very convenient. This slightly. Alright, looks like we're good. We're gonna try this one more. Okay. Now we are almost done. I'll line up right there, right there, and drop this into place. That should be good. There is a little tab right about there that this has to slot into. Okay, just lined up. Perfect. This is not how it is. Okay, almost forgot. I got 10 screws to put back. I'm gonna go like this with a little isopropyl alcohol in a sec. Once I get these screws back in there, and that one will stay put. Make sure that this is open. Clean up some flux and stuff. I think it's flux. Alright. There's some minor scratches on there, as it is. Go. That's a little. So there we go. Oh, you know what? I just forgot to out this little guy. Back to the trailer. Alright. And last two. Okay. Get this guy out. See if those lines are still there. Hopefully not. What's my name? What's my name? I know my name. Let's see if it fits in here though. Subscribe. Alright, well, that's about it. We successfully restored this Game Boy. Let me know who I should pick as a starter. Alright, I personally prefer Bulbasaur. But I understand he's not everybody's favorite. Alright, save here. Okay, alright, you guys have a good day.